NASA is hiding something big. Now we all know NASA is a space company that's trying to find life out there and exploring planets, blah blah blah. But did you know that was not their original mission? Originally, they had no interest in space. Back when they started, they were actually out to explore the oceans. So as we all know, only around 5% of our oceans have been discovered. Now they invested billions into looking into our oceans and finding things, and sent tons of missions down there like they do for space now. But something happened. One day, after one mission, in an instant, they stopped. We don't know if they saw something, if they discovered something, we don't know. All we know is that they completely stopped looking into the ocean, like that, and then went to space. They moved from wanting to explore our oceans and find more about our planet, to wanting to get us off the planet as fast as possible. What the hell did they see? Crazy Mandela effects that you've definitely not seen before. This will seriously blow your mind, so if you're easily scared, just keep on scrolling right now. Right, so we know the film Forrest Gump, and obviously you'll know the famous line, life is like a box of chocolates. But is it? In fact, the line that was said in the film is actually, life was like a box of chocolates. But I've never heard anyone say that before, like, what the hell? Next up, the famous Queen song, We Are the Champions. You probably know at the end of the song goes, we are the champions of the world. But it doesn't. In fact, all it says is, we are the champions, and then just ends. What? Now in America, you might think that there is 52 states, you know, most people do. But there's actually only 50, and only ever been 50. Now, this one blew my mind. Right, so you know the famous line, you've got mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. But it wasn't ever mirror, mirror, it was magic mirror. What? And if you're a Star Wars fan, you'll definitely know the phrase, Luke, I am your father. You know, everyone's heard that. But that's not what he said. He said, no, I am your father. What the hell is going on? Aliens do exist. And they are literally living among us right now. This is mental and will seriously blow your mind. So this guy right here is the former Minister of Defence in Canada. Obviously that is an extremely high role and they will know pretty much everything that goes on. And you will not believe what this guy had said on TV. Right, so we know that not that long ago the US Army released this video showing what appeared to be a UFO. And after lots of speculation they actually confirmed it was a UFO. Then after this we've had lots of speculation about the Pentagon, their money being spent on things that we didn't know about. And of course the big theory, do aliens exist or not? On an interview Paul actually said that aliens did exist and that he knew this for certain. Now what makes it even scarier is that he said they were already living among us. And there are already over 50 different species of them on Earth as we speak. But they look identical to humans and we would not be able to distinguish them. He said the names of these aliens were Nordic blondes. So I mean, why would this ex-Minister of Defence lie on TV? Could it be possible that there are already aliens living among us? The government are hiding a huge secret about Egypt. This will absolutely blow your mind, and if you're confused or scared easily, then you know the drill. Right, so we all know that Egypt is a pretty crazy place. I mean, the architecture here is just phenomenal, and how would they have built this thousands of years ago? Like, how? Of course, there is a huge theory surrounding that aliens built the pyramid. But why do people believe this, and is there even evidence to back it up? Well, this is where it gets crazy. Right, so there are big names in the world of really, really clever people, such as Elon Musk saying the pyramids were clearly built by aliens. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, how the hell would you build that with no technology? But there's another theory which is absolutely mental and kind of more believable. Look at this carving which was found in the Egyptian times, known as the Tunnel of Light because it literally looks like a modern light bulb. The theory is that maybe ancient civilizations were far more developed than we're being told. Maybe they had technology even more advanced than we have today. But something happened which just wiped everyone and everything out, meaning that the world kind of just started from scratch. And I mean, all the evidence for this is in Egypt. Pretty crazy. There is an alien base beneath Antarctica. This is seriously crazy and will blow your mind, so if you're easily scared, yeah, keep on scrolling. Right, so this guy right here is Albert Bender. In the 1950s, this guy went over to Antarctica and claimed that he was abducted by aliens. He claimed that he was taken to some kind of secret military base under the ground there. He said that in this place everything was extremely high-tech and alien-like. And he claimed that he had regular meetings with the aliens who told him information that they could not have known otherwise. When this guy came back, he went to tell the tale worldwide about how he was abducted by them and that there was something going on in Antarctica. Now it's of course possible this guy was just completely delusional and imagined the whole thing. But then again, Antarctica is completely derelict, nothing there. But if there were to be some kind of alien base somewhere, it's likely it's there. Time doesn't exist at this place. This could even prove there's something very, very weird going on Earth that could be something to do with aliens. Now, if you're easily scared, I mean, this will blow your mind, so yeah, just keep on scrolling right now. Still here? Let's go. Right, so this place right here is in Mexico, and it's called the Zone of Death. Now, this place is just right in the middle of the desert, and well, there's literally nothing there because it's nowhere near civilization. But time doesn't work here. Like, just your average watch stops working for pretty much everyone that goes to this place. Like, a bit weird. Along with very strange signals, frequencies cutting out, and just all kinds of weird stuff that happen for people driving through. But wait, this is where it gets even crazier. There are theories suggesting that when you go to this place you will see a group of hitchhikers. They'll ask for your help, and I mean if you do, well, bad things happen. People have reported being confused and having hallucinations just by entering this place. Now guess what, gets even crazier, here come the theories. So this place is actually dead in line with the pyramids and the Bermuda Triangle. Pretty crazy. And of course we know both those places are a bit odd. But the theory is that there's something odd going on here that could be something to do with aliens. Did you know that there is a way you can actually come out of your body? Like, what the hell? This is absolutely mental and will seriously blow your mind, so if you're easily scared or get easily confused, keep on scrolling. So this is something called astral projection or astral travel. If you've seen the Netflix series Behind Her Eyes, this is what they do in it. After the series came out, it left many people wondering if they could actually do this in real life or if it was just extremely far-fetched. But you can actually do it, it's just hard. Basically, it's similar to a lucid dream when you're in the dream and you can control it. However, with astral travel, you actually feel like you're coming out of your body and can go around the room or whatever. Several religions actually practice this. It's quite cool but quite crazy at the same time. Basically, people believe that you can take your mind and your soul out of your body and live as one. Pretty crazy, but don't ask me how to do it because I have no idea. This film crew found out what was really going on in Antarctica, and then they disappeared. This is absolutely crazy and will seriously blow your mind, so if you're easily scared, just keep on scrolling right now. Trust me, trust me. In 2002, a California film crew decided to go to Antarctica to explore it. They thought something a bit odd was going on there because, I mean, look at it. There had been recent satellite images showing what looked like some kind of pyramids in Antarctica, and of course this made them interested and want to go and explore. So they got there and they started exploring. Now on top of this, some of the military claimed that the US government was flying weird military support down to Antarctica. But of course, there's nothing there. Now, shortly after they arrived, they vanished. Gone, never to be seen again. Shortly after, they sent in the military and the Navy SEALs. Now this is where it gets absolutely crazy. Now they did not find the film crew nowhere. However, they discovered this derelict camp, like an old barn and a house. Now inside was this, a tape. And trust me when I say this is about to get mental. After watching the tape, even the Navy SEALs and the military were absolutely shocked. Like, mind completely blown. Basically, evidence suggests that on this tape was what the film crew documented. What was on it was evidence of a dig up to 2 miles deep, and what was under there will shock you. It was what appeared to be some kind of underworld, with cities and buildings all under the ice. Like, what the hell? And of course the SEALs and everyone were absolutely confused out of their mind. Now this is where of course it's going to get even crazier. So they took this back and actually wanted to send it into TV companies to broadcast all over the world. Because I mean, it's pretty crazy and they want everyone worldwide to know. But then the government step in, saying no, there's nothing there, there's no need to show the tape. Pretty weird, if they got nothing to hide, just let them play the tape. After a long time of legal battles, they were not allowed to broadcast the tape and the government took it. But now some government officials actually even deny that it exists. But there are lawyers still working on this case worldwide trying to get this evidence out. Something is going on. What if I told you that the world as we knew it ended in 2012? And we are all dead or living in some kind of simulation. This will seriously blow your mind and drive you crazy, so if you're easily scared then just keep on scrolling right now. Trust me, keep on scrolling, this will keep you up all night. Still here? Let's go. Right, so let's start off from the beginning where in 2012 they discovered the particle known as Higgs boson. Now Stephen Hawking famously said that when this particle is discovered it could suck our entire universe into some kind of black hole, ending the world as we knew it and potentially all of life. However, if we did go into a black hole we wouldn't actually realise because it would be so quick. Sounds weird but stay with me. So we have the Mandela effect, which is the theory we've gone into a parallel universe, or that we're in some kind of black hole, which is possible because of this. Now examples of this are things such as most people remember Curious George having a tail, but he never did, and many other things. Now this one here is pretty crazy. This painting which was done showed the Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island, where millions and millions of people swear it was and still is, but it's not. And other people say they haven't been able to visit the top of the torch of the Statue of Liberty for years and years. Like, that's pretty crazy. Now tell me this, since 2012 the world just hasn't seemed right, has it? Like there's been really weird things happening, of course we've had COVID, all of that kind of stuff, and the world has just kind of seemed odd, I don't know why. So what if this particle did cause absolute chaos? Then we got sucked into some kind of black hole and are living in some kind of alternate universe? Or are we living in a simulation from this? Not long ago the CIA published documents which pretty much confirmed simulation theory. Like what? And then we have people such as Elon Musk who say it's pretty much impossible that we're not in a simulation. Like what? It actually just blows my mind. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If I told you that we are inside Area 51, I know you're thinking, Matt, what the hell are you on about? Just hear me out, this is absolutely mental. Now unless you want me to ruin the way you see the world, just keep on scrolling, trust me. Go on. Still there? Right, this is seriously going to mess you up. I just want to say this is all theories. I don't necessarily believe this. I'll let you guys make your own mind up. Right, so we all know there's something in Area 51. It's all heavily protected, blah, blah, blah. There's also simulation theory, which a lot of people believe. You know, the theory that we're in a simulation. Now, what if Area 51 is actually the way out of this world and we're technically in it? Now, the reason it's the most protected place on Earth is because they don't want us going there because they don't want us to escape. What if inside there is actually some kind of high-tech lab or simulator? Like almost the hub of the simulation that we could be in. Absolutely crazy to think about, but they don't want us going there for some reason. Who knows what could be there? What if I told you that there is another civilization living inside of our Earth? This is absolutely mental and will seriously blow your mind. Before I start and I get all the comments saying, oh my god, you're such an idiot, I don't necessarily believe this. It's all just theories. I'm telling it to you guys so you can all make your own mind up. Right. Let's go. Right, so there is a theory that's been around for many, many years, known as Agatha, the Earth Inner World. Basically, the theory is that our Earth is hollow and there is another community of people living inside of it. Now, I know what you're thinking, you an idiot, this is just ridiculous, but trust me. But many people believe that there are entrances across the world which lead to this inner world. And the people that are living there have lived there for centuries, who knows? But here comes the evidence, and this is where it gets even crazier. Right, so as I said, people believe that there are entrances across the world in various places which lead to this inner world. Look at these coordinates on Google Earth. This opening right here, look at it. And it's completely in the middle of nowhere. Like middle, of literally nowhere, there's nothing near it. The place just looks creepy, like it's just a really weird shape. But around it, it is heavily guarded by military and tanks. Like, what the hell? Even crazier, lots of people believe that the pyramids were built by these inner civilizations. Lots of researchers and people who have looked into the pyramids have found this out. In certain hieroglyphics and engravings, it actually said that the inner civilizations built the pyramids. And this is from people who lived thousands and thousands of years ago. They wrote this, not us. Like, what the hell? So maybe this place is some kind of entrance. And the government know about these civilizations, but they're hiding something very big from us. What actually is Stonehenge? This will absolutely blow your mind and terrify the life out of you, so if you're easily scared, keep on scrolling right now. Trust me. Right, so Stonehenge is this place in England, you've probably heard of it. It's basically a load of rocks put in a circle, positioned in really weird ways. Now of course there are theories, but no one on Earth knows for sure how they actually got there. Now these stones are thousands and thousands of years old, and at the time of them being built, people were literally living in caves. So how the hell did these people manage to lift stones as heavy as these? Like, it would be nearly impossible to lift these without some kind of machinery. But somehow they got there. Now this is where the theory comes into play. The theory is that aliens actually built Stonehenge a long, long time ago. Maybe they had sophisticated technology while we were still living in caves. Now here's where it gets even crazier. Not long ago, the government released all possible UFO sightings in the UK. Over 5 of these were in Stonehenge alone. Just take a look at the photos. Look at it. And this one right here, taken in the early 1900s, shows something above Stonehenge. Now of course all of these could just be planes, but who knows? Do you recognise this man? Take a really, really good look. Now whether you do or you don't, this video will absolutely terrify the life out of you, so if you're easily scared, then just keep on scrolling. Go on, keep on scrolling. Right, so this guy right here is most commonly known as the Dream Man. Because in a survey, over 60% of people living in the USA said they had seen this man in their dreams. Now this is where it gets even crazier. It's actually impossible when we're dreaming to make up faces. So everyone you see in your dreams, you've seen someone before. Even if you've just walked past them in the street for like 5 seconds or something. But why do we all recognise this man? Because we all must have seen him somewhere. Unless he is some kind of demon which is able to get into all of our dreams. Let me know in the comments down below if you've seen him before. If you ride this roller coaster, you will die. This right here is a Euthanasia roller coaster designed by Gigiwanos Urobanos. Once everyone was on board, it would take you up to a height of 510 meters, and then drop you all the way down. Once completing the drop, it would send you through a series of loops gradually getting tighter and tighter, meaning the G-force would constantly be increasing, eventually getting so tight that you would pass out, black out, and die. Now why the hell was this ride designed? Basically it was designed for people who were dying or didn't have long left, a way that these people could go out doing something they love on a roller coaster. Now of course this roller coaster doesn't actually exist and it is just a concept, but maybe one day it could be built. What is so scary about 3 AM? Well, I'm going to tell you, and you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. So if you're wanting to get to sleep and have a good night, then just keep on scrolling. Go on, keep on scrolling. Right, so 3 AM is commonly known as the witching or the devil's hour. It dates back centuries and is believed to be the time that the spirits are closest to Earth. That's why people play Ouija boards and do all of these scary games at 3 AM, because it's believed it's the best time to communicate with the spirits because they're the closest to us. And this is where it gets even crazier. We have something called body sensing where we'll automatically wake up if we hear a noise or sense something. For instance, if someone's standing over your bed, they may not make any noise, but you're probably going to wake up. But it's even scarier at 3 AM. Because if you ever wake up randomly at 3 AM, not because you need a glass of water or need the toilet or something, I mean randomly, it could mean that there is a spirit or something standing in your room over your bed. This plane takes off, we all die. You will seriously not believe what is on this plane. This plane right here is America's doomsday plane. Now this plane will only take off in critical situations. No, it taking off obviously won't kill us all. What I meant by that is it will only take off if there's some kind of nuclear war or absolutely horrific event, meaning we're probably all gonna die. But why would a plane take off in a nuclear fallout? Well, basically, for a start, this plane is one of the biggest in the world. The front of the plane is absolute luxury, with everything you can imagine, but the other part of the plane is control centres. And in these control centres, people can launch nukes from anywhere in the world. You can pretty much control the world from this plane, which is mental. The plane has so many crew members as well. The plane can fly so high, it can get above nuclear destruction level. And it can fly for 7 days without refuelling. If there was some kind of nuclear war and the world was going nuts, the president and other high government officials would get on this plane and fly up, and pretty much control America and the world from the skies. The Titanic did not hit an iceberg. This is absolutely insane and is going to mess you up. So unless you want me to ruin everything you've ever learned, just keep on scrolling, trust me. Go on, just keep on scrolling, go on. Still there? Right, fine. Right, so to start off with, we all know the Titanic, of course, and if you don't, go back to school. Now, we all know that it hit an iceberg and that's what made it sink, and it of course killed lots and lots of people. But this is going to change everything you've ever thought about what happened to the Titanic. Right, so this guy right here is Vagnik Bunark. Now this guy was extremely clever, he was one of the smartest people on the entire boat. And he actually managed to survive the sinking of the Titanic. Now here's where things get a bit crazy. After the sinking, he was interviewed about what happened, but he never mentioned anything about an iceberg. Nothing. So what happened? People actually believed that there was a fire. Before the boat even set sail, that was in the engine room. A burn mark. 65% of the survivors actually said they saw an explosion from the boiler room when leaving. None of the survivors actually said anything about an iceberg. So what the hell is going on? Did they lie to us about what happened? The ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we're being told. Hell, they could have even been more advanced than we are today. First of all, let's take a look at this engraving, which is thousands of years old. This carving is known as the Dendera light. Now this actually perfectly resembles the light sources which we use today. As you can see, it appears that he is holding some kind of light, and this is the beam coming out of it. And if you look at it compared to this, it looks exactly like modern technology. Next up, there's been tons and tons of architecture found under the water, dating back thousands and thousands of years. There's even been pyramids and temples found under there. Now, of course, they're under there due to the rising sea levels. What if there was no sea? Imagine what we'd find. Now, how the hell did they build all of this architecture with no technology? Like, it's perfect. It just blows my mind. Finally, when they talk about ancient civilizations, they talk about gods and people flying and all of that stuff. But what if this stuff did exist? Under the ground in a temple in Mexico, found a large jar of liquid mercury, which is used in modern technologies such as vehicles. The government is hiding something very, very big about our oceans. This is absolutely crazy and will seriously blow your mind and make you question everything. So if you're easily scared, keep on scrolling right now, trust me. Still here? Let's get into the video. Right, so in the last few weeks, a lot of very strange things have been happening off the coast of Florida. Now we're going to talk about the main really weird one. So only a few days ago, they'd exploded a gigantic bomb in the ocean. Now normally when they test bombs like this in the sea, it gets planned for ages before, but this wasn't planned at all. Like, it was suddenly last minute, the next day they're exploding it in the bloody sea. Now bear in mind, this bomb would have cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it would have killed lots and lots of sea life. And this is where it gets crazy. The theory is that maybe this wasn't meant for just testing. Maybe it was meant to destroy the sea life. Like some kind of creature or something they found under there that needed to be destroyed. Who knows? Now it's about to get even crazier. Now we know that the ocean is of course linked to the Gulf of Mexico. So maybe something crazy, unexplainable, whatever came from the Gulf of Mexico, and they were trying to destroy it. Now take a look at this. This is what's been going on in the Gulf of Mexico recently. Huge fire in the middle of the ocean. Like a full-on fire pit in the middle of the bloody ocean. How the hell did that happen? Now they're saying it was from a small gas leak, but that does not look like a small gas leak to me. What is going on? Do you recognise this rubber emoji? I don't think you do. Millions of people worldwide, including myself, swear they remember this rubber emoji, but it actually never existed. A lot of people think it did exist and it was just removed from Apple, but it wasn't. They never ever made this emoji. I swear I remember actually using it. Like, what? Mandela effect is just going too far now. Go sub to my YouTube for more crazy vids. At this place, you can legally commit any crime. At this place is pretty much like the Purge every single day. It's going to absolutely blow your mind, so let's go. So in America, there is Yellowstone National Park, and in the middle of it is this place, the Zone of Death. Now why is it called the Zone of Death, and how come you can literally commit any crime here? Well, in America, laws differ from state to state. Now the line in the middle here is the Zone of Death. On either side of it we have Idaho and Wyoming. Now, as I said, the states have completely different laws, and this place here is pretty much unclaimed turf. So it's not actually in either state, it's just neutral land. Meaning if you go there and commit any crime, they're not going to arrest you, and they're not going to arrest you. So in theory, you could go to this stretch of land and commit any crime imaginable. You could be a mass murderer and you would not be arrested. But there's going to be a bit of an issue, because not one single person lives there, there's no shops, there's nothing. It's literally just forest. But still. Why do people believe that the moon landings were faked? Well, this is some evidence that suggests they were. Now the biggest one that probably everyone has seen is the flag. Now on the moon, of course, there is no wind. So how the hell is the flag blowing? Next up, in every single one of the photos there is no stars in the sky. Like, there is not one. Now this could be because they have bad cameras and it can capture it, but I highly doubt that. Or it was most likely filmed in a studio. Now of course we have the first footprint on the moon. These were the boots that the first person who actually went to the moon wore. It looks nothing like it. How does that come from that? Now let's say they were faked, you're probably wondering, why would they fake them, what's the point? Well basically at the time the world was in the space race, every country was trying to get to the moon first. America wanted to beat Russia because of all the Cold War and everything that happened, so they may have faked it to get there first. Let me know what you guys think, do you reckon they were faked or were they real? You will seriously not believe that this place exists. And it's actually what the Netflix series Stranger Things is based on. Now warning, if you're easily scared, do not watch this video, trust me. So this right here is the Montauk testing facility, located at the end of Long Island in New York. Now back in the 1940s, this place was used for vigorous testing, mind testing. Scientists and governments were using this place to try and develop mind control and time travel. They would put subjects as young as 10 years old through vigorous testing, try and almost brainwash them or control them. No one actually knows exactly what happened to the subjects. Now during the testing, weird deformed creatures were found off of the coast, which just makes it even weirder. Now years later it was eventually shut down, but there's still very strange stuff there. You can still see scratch marks on the walls asking for help, testing devices and much more. But what if, just what if, their experiments worked, and something is still there, we just can't see? We are dead. This conspiracy theory is going to mess you up. If you don't want me to ruin your day, just keep on scrolling. Go on, keep on scrolling. Trust me, you don't want to see this. Right, so for everyone that's still here, let's get into it. Right, so it's scientifically proven that when we die, our mind is still functioning. And it's true that our life literally does flash before our eyes. There's a 7-minute period of time where you will re-watch your entire life. But it won't feel like 7 minutes, it will feel like forever. It's also proven that there is no possible way that we could know we're in that state. What I mean is there is no way you would know you're dead and rewatching your life. You just think it's your life. What I'm trying to say is we could all be dead, laying in a hospital bed somewhere. And this reality is just our life flashing before our eyes in a weird way. What the hell? Disney is hiding something big. This is going to terrify the life out of you and ruin your entire childhood. So unless you want to be absolutely terrified, then just keep on scrolling. Well, I'm not going to warn you again, keep on scrolling right now. We all know Disney is a pretty magical and amazing place, but there's some dark secrets they do not want you to know. To start with, and this is a very weird one, it's actually illegal to die in the park. You've probably seen articles of no one has actually died in Disneyland. And they're right, they haven't. If you're dying and you need urgent help, they will take you out of the park. Doesn't matter how injured you are. People have been seriously injured in Disney, but they've taken them outside the gates, and they've died. Pretty weird. Now you may think Disney's rides are pretty innocent. They're not. This ride is Mr. Todd's Wild Ride. First people go through and it looks pretty amazing. It's just a bit of fun. The story of this is terrifying. Halfway through you have a collision with a bus, which is meant to symbolise you dying. And the second half of the ride is you in hell. Finally, I bet you didn't know there's a huge tunnel system under Disney. They claim it's full of shops and hairdressers, but it's far from it. Some people actually believe it's a place where human trafficking takes place. I'm terrified. This young boy claimed he remembered his past life, and you will not believe what happened when they realised he was telling the truth. A young Syrian boy was born with a large birthmark on his face, and ever since he was able to talk, he would constantly say about how he had lived before. He used to also say that he was murdered with an axe by his neighbour. The remarks got so extreme and it was the only thing this boy would talk about, so his parents decided to look into it. They looked into the village where he said he had lived before, and it turned out a young boy who was 10 years old had gone missing there a few years before. So the family took a trip out to that village. The boy remembered where he lived and knocked on the door of the neighbour who supposedly killed him. The man went white as a sheet and looked extremely shocked. He said, I didn't kill anyone. But the young boy said he knew where he was buried and made him follow them down there. They proceeded to dig up the ground, where they found a young boy's skull which had been hit exactly where his birthmark was. The man later confessed to murder and was arrested and sentenced to death. Crazy Mandela effects that I can guarantee you haven't seen before. This is absolutely crazy and will seriously blow your mind. Unless you want me to ruin your day and ruin everything you've ever known, then just keep on scrolling. This is your last warning. Right, so first up, the laughing cow. You know the cheese, you can get it everywhere, whatever. Millions of people worldwide, including myself, swear that the cow used to have a nose ring, but it never did. You'll all undoubtedly know the extremely famous Queen song, We Are the Champions. Now you probably thought it ends, like I do, We are the champions of the world. But it doesn't. It literally just says, because we are the champions, and then ends. Like, what? Now the old Disney show, bit of my childhood. Probably a lot of you remember this as well. Now at the end you probably remember that she would bump into the sign. Like she'd slide into it and hit it. But that never happened. She literally just touches it. What? What if I told you that we have all lived before? Every single one of us, and there is actual proof. You're probably thinking, what a melt, absolute load of rubbish. Well, just hear me out. Right, now this is absolutely mental, and honestly, it blows my mind. So scientists recently have been looking into our cells and obviously the cell memory. So cells can actually recall memories and have their memories of their entire existence. And scientists have been looking into something and found something absolutely mental. What they've recently discovered is that cells can actually tell your past lives. Like, what the hell? Meaning that it's extremely likely that we have genuinely all lived before. Our cells actually contain the memories of what happened in our previous lives. Confusing, but really, really cool. So what if these scientists are eventually able to dig deeper into this and find out more stuff? Like genuinely be able to find out what happened in your past life, if they are genuinely real and how you died. Absolutely mental. Now let me know in the comments down below whether you believe in reincarnation or not. What if I told you that all of the world's most powerful people are in some kind of cult? Now I know you're thinking, whoa, hold up Jamal, what are you going on about? But just hear me out, this is mental. Right, so to start off with, we all know who the Illuminati are. No one knows if they're real or fake or what really is going on. But of course the most common theory is that these people are higher than the government and are actually controlling the world almost. Now here's where things get crazy. This place right here is known as Bohemian Grove. Now the general public are not allowed into this place. It is always cordoned off, but even if you did get in there, you're not going to see anything. Because what happens there only happens once a year. Now once a year, all of the world's most powerful people, including leaders, all go and meet at this place for some kind of undercover meeting. No one knows the topics, nobody knows what goes on here. The evidence we do have suggests it's something very odd. There is a large statue in the middle, almost like a cult symbol, and in the evening it appears there's some kind of ritual. No one knows what happens there once a year. The theory is, though, it's something to do with the Illuminati. What if I told you that parallel universes do actually exist? This is absolutely mental and will seriously blow your mind, so I mean if you're easily scared, well, you know the drill. Right, so to start off with, if you don't know, a parallel universe is a universe the same to ours that things play out differently. So for instance, you might cross the road here, but in a parallel universe you get hit by a car or something else. And the theory is that there are hundreds of parallel universes. Now the reason people believe this is because of something called the Mandela effect, which is where things have just been changing over time. I mean, take a look at this, everyone remembers a Roger emoji, but it never existed. Like, never. And you remember in Disney when Tinkerbell dotted the eye? Well, that never ever happened. Pretty crazy. Right, so now getting into it, what is this new theory? Because you know sometimes you wake up and you've just got like a random bruise or cut or something, and you have no idea where it came from, you're like, what the hell? Some people say it was from a ghost or whatever, but no, this could be another theory. A lot of people believe that when you get these random cuts or bruises, it's actually yourself in a different parallel universe getting injured. Because you know, like I said, everything plays out differently. Pretty crazy thought, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Here are some secrets that flight attendants really do not want you to know about, and stuff that they never ever tell you. Sometimes you go to the toilet, you lock yourself in there, and you're in there for quite a while. Or sometimes maybe you just want to lock the door in there and get some peace and quiet. This is actually a very, very bad idea, because the doors can actually still be opened from the outside even if it's locked. And if you're in there for too long, they will think you're doing something suspicious and can remove you and give you to the authorities. So yeah, it's pretty risky. Now the trays and tables on planes are actually the dirtiest part of the whole thing. After every flight, of course, they clean the seats and everything, but they don't have enough time to clean these. So they're absolutely filthy, even dirtier than the toilet seats. If you order a normal coffee on the plane, it will still be decaf, because the flight attendants would rather it that you actually sleep, because then they have an easier time. And the reason they dim the lights at night time isn't so you can get some sleep. It's actually so if the plane crashes at night time, your eyes are already adjusted to the dark. Someone is watching you and controlling you right now. Now this is absolutely crazy, and this theory will mess you up, so keep on scrolling unless you want to be terrified. This is your last warning. Right, so we all know we've got that little voice in our heads. You know, it can be pretty annoying. Sometimes it annoys us, sometimes it tells us to do stuff, blah blah blah. But it's pretty annoying and pretty weird. Now of course we know the theory of parallel universes. Universes which are the same as ours, where things play out differently, but they're all existing at the same time. This diagram here kind of shows it. Don't worry if you don't understand it, it's pretty complex. Now what if the voice in our heads is just you from a different universe telling you things? So when the parallel version of you is thinking about stuff or talking to yourself, we hear it as the voice in our heads. Or maybe we're even in a simulation. And what we're living in is some kind of giant game. There's someone out there literally controlling us, pulling the strings of our lives. What if you wake up during surgery and you can feel everything? This is terrifying and will scare the absolute life out of you, so just keep on scrolling unless you want to be terrified. This is your last warning, just keep on scrolling right now. Right, so there is something called amnesia awareness, which is basically when you get put to sleep in an operation, the anaesthetic wears out, meaning that you kind of in a way wake up. But this is where things get bad. You'll be awake, you'll be able to feel everything that's happening. With no pain relief, you'll feel absolutely everything. But the anaesthetic has only actually failed in your head, stay with me. Meaning that the doctors and surgeons will think that you're still under the anaesthetic, still asleep. Your eyes won't be able to open, it will appear that you're sleeping. And of course you can't move and you can't talk. So you'll be feeling everything they're doing to you, but you will be unaware to scream, shout or even move. And they'll just think you're asleep.